LaLiga outclassed the Premier League. 3 Spanish clubs, 3 English clubs, a clean sweep. Football Club Barcelona knocked out Newcastle United, 8-3 on aggregate. Real Madrid took control of Manchester City, 5-1 over 2 legs. Atlético Madrid sent Tottenham Hotspur out, 7-5 over the tie. And these are the same Spanish teams we were told would struggle in the Premier League. You had pundits saying things like, the Premier League is miles ahead of every other league. The Premier League, the most competitive league in the world. You don't get time on the ball here. Wayne Rooney. Twice I've watched Barcelona this season. Both times I felt that tempo and intensity of the Premier League is too much for them. Well, I have a question, Mr. Rooney. Why only twice? Barcelona are playing some of the most exciting football in Europe. Why would you deprive yourself of that? At CBS, Newcastle were praised after the 1-1 like they'd already won something. They made Barcelona look average for 90 minutes. They just didn't explain why it was still a draw. And just before this tie, the teams like Newcastle can force Barcelona out of their game with Premier League intensity. So the idea was clear. In England, you don't get space, you don't get control, you don't get to play your football. Barcelona scored 7. So yes, they were right, there is a gap. Let's zoom out for a second. English clubs came in numbers, 6 teams in the knockout stages. How many made it through? 2. And then there is Chelsea. Paris Saint-Germain humbled them twice, 8-2 on aggregate. In total, the 4 eliminated teams conceded 28 goals across 2 legs. And honestly, these ones on the English media, pundits, broadcasters, the whole Premier League ecosystem, they push the idea that Premier League is superior, and they actually believe it themselves. And then English clubs walk into these games against Spanish, German, French sides, teams that play actual football. Not just this constant focus on set pieces, second balls, physical duels, but football isn't just about muscles or who runs faster. It's about who thinks quicker. And even in the physical side of the game, Barcelona were better there too. More tackles won, more duels won, 61% possession, 89% pass accuracy, 419 passes to 220. If you aren't into statistics, here's what a Newcastle player admitted. You try to press one, the ball is already with the other. After a while, you are just running. You are not even sure who you're chasing anymore. And right after that, on Sky Sports, they said something that makes you go, what? The Premier League is stronger, but European teams are better in knockouts. What does that even mean? If you are stronger, you win. But instead of admitting the obvious, they started reaching for excuses. Too much competition, too many games, too much intensity. Let me remind you, we are talking about English clubs with virtually unlimited financial resources. They built 2 full squads, with deep benches stacked with top-level players. And then there is Barcelona. Financial crisis, year after year, 1 core squad. A couple of injuries and players are covering 2 or 3 positions. And on top of that, half of the starting 11 came through Masia. Not signed for millions, developed within the club. Lamine Yamal, 18, already 10 Champions League goal contributions this season. Cubarsí, 19, not dispossessed once, 10 clearances, 1 off the line. Bernal, 18, a goal. Didn't look out of place for a second. Fermín Lopez, 22 years old, 28 goal contributions from midfield across all competitions. And that's enough to dismantle English clubs. Gerard Piqué, someone who came through La Masia, put it simply, the Premier League spends billions to convince the world they are the elite. We spend 90 minutes showing them they're just spectators in our garden. That same idea was there even before the game. Arturo Vidal, 90 minutes in the Camp Nou is not a short time, it's an eternity. Newcastle will suffer. They come with money, with intensity, but they are entering a temple where money does not matter. Thierry Henry, who also played for Barcelona, put it like this. Under Hansi Flick, when this team catches fire, it leaves nothing behind. Europe should be worried. And that's where we are. The strongest teams went through. Now the bracket looks like this. Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern, Barcelona, Atlético Madrid, Sporting, Arsenal. No easy matchups. This is where it gets interesting. From here, it's all top teams. Let's see how this Champions League season unfolds.